Remember when Apple completely redesigned iOS back in 2013? Well, they just did it again, but this time across every single device they make. Apple just held their biggest software event of the year, and honestly, it's been a while since we've seen changes this dramatic. We're talking about a complete visual overhaul that's either going to make you say, finally, or wait, doesn't this look familiar? Plus, they're making some serious moves in AI that might surprise you because it's not what you'd expect from Apple. So here's what went down at WWDC 2025. Apple basically hit the reset button on how all their software looks and feels. They're calling it liquid glass. And imagine if your iPhone suddenly had this translucent, almost glass-like interface where everything seems to have depth and reacts to how you're using it. Think of it like your apps are floating behind actual glass that catches light and creates these subtle reflections as you move your phone. But here's where it gets interesting and a bit controversial. The moment Apple showed this off, the internet immediately said, wait a minute, this looks like Windows Vista from 2007. You know, that translucent arrow interface that Microsoft had? Yeah, the comparison started flying fast. Some people are calling it Vista 2.0, which isn't exactly a compliment. But Apple says there's more to it than just making things see-through. The whole interface actually adapts to whether you're in a bright room or using dark mode. UI elements react to your touch with these specular highlights. Basically, it's supposed to feel alive and responsive in a way that goes beyond what we had before. And this isn't just coming to your iPhone. Every Apple device, your iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, Apple TV, even the Vision Pro, they're all getting this same design language. For the iPhone specifically, this is the biggest visual change since iOS 7, when they ditched all those realistic-looking icons for the flat design we've had for over a decade. Now let's talk about what might be even more important: Apple Intelligence. And no, they're not just throwing AI buzzwords around. They're doing something pretty different here. Instead of trying to compete directly with ChatGPT or Google's AI, Apple's taking a privacy-first approach that's actually pretty clever. First up, they've got live translation that works completely on your device, no internet needed. You can translate conversations and messages, get live captions during FaceTime calls, even have your phone calls translated in real time. And it's starting with English, French, German, Spanish, and Chinese. There's also updates to Genmoji. You can now mix existing emojis with text descriptions to create new ones. Image Playground is getting new artistic styles, like oil painting and vector art. And if you give it permission, it can even use ChatGPT to create unique images. But here's where the real game changer is that most people might miss. Apple's giving developers direct access to their AI models through something called the Foundation Models Framework. What does this mean? Well, any app developer can now add AI features to their apps using Apple's on-device AI, and it's free. No cloud services needed, no subscription fees, and it all stays private on your device. Developers are already jumping on this. Kahoot is using it to create quizzes from your notes. AllTrails is suggesting hikes based on what you type. And the Day One journaling app is adding AI features that don't compromise your privacy. This could be huge because it means we might see an explosion of AI-powered apps that actually respect your privacy. Speaking of Siri, yeah, about that. Apple basically admitted that Siri still needs more work. Craig Federighi literally said it needs more time to reach a high-quality bar. So while Siri can now use ChatGPT for complex questions, if you let it, don't expect a completely new Siri just yet. Every operating system is getting renamed to version 26. iOS 26 Tahoe, macOS 26, watchOS 26, you get the idea. They're syncing everything up with the calendar year, which actually makes a lot of sense. Some standout features: the phone app on iPhone is getting its biggest redesign ever. You'll get call screening that answers calls in the background and tells you who's calling and why before you pick up. There's also Hold Assist that detects when you're on hold and notifies you when a real person comes back. Messages is getting polls for group chats, custom backgrounds, and you can send Apple Cash directly in group conversations. The camera app is simplified, with swipe gestures to switch between photo and video. And they're adding 2 new apps, a Games app that's basically a hub for all your games, and Preview for managing PDFs, which Mac users have had forever. For iPad users, finally, we're getting proper windowing. You can have floating, resizable windows, and some reports say you might even see a Mac-style menu bar when using a Magic Keyboard. This could actually make the iPad feel like a real computer. Your Apple Watch is getting an AI workout buddy that gives you motivational pep talks and tracks your stats in real time. And yes, it all happens on your watch, not in the cloud. The new macOS Tahoe lets you customize folder colors and symbols, and live activities from your iPhone can now show up on your Mac. Plus, there's a new phone app for Mac that brings all those iOS calling features to your desktop. Even AirPods are getting updates, studio-quality recording for content creators, and you can use them as a camera remote for your iPhone. Here's what really matters, though. The stock market wasn't impressed. Apple's stock dropped about 1.5% during the announcement. Investors were hoping for more aggressive AI features to compete with Google and Microsoft. Some analysts are calling this too little, too late in the AI race. But I think they're missing the bigger picture. Apple's not trying to win a sprint here. They're running a different race entirely. While everyone else is rushing to put AI chatbots everywhere, Apple's building AI into the fabric of their operating systems in ways that actually protect your privacy. They're giving developers the tools to create thousands of AI-powered apps without sending your data to the cloud. Look, is liquid glass going to be divisive? Absolutely. Some people will love the rich, glass-like aesthetic, others will keep making those Windows Vista jokes. But combined with the AI strategy and the focus on making all Apple devices work better together, this feels like Apple laying the groundwork for something bigger. This isn't about having the flashiest AI demo or the most revolutionary new feature. It's about creating an ecosystem where intelligence is built into everything you do, where your devices work together seamlessly, and where your privacy isn't an afterthought. Will it work? We'll find out when these updates hit your devices this fall. Developer betas are already out. Public betas come in July. The real test will be whether developers embrace these new tools and whether users actually notice and appreciate the privacy-focused approach to AI. What do you think? Are you excited about the new look, or does it remind you too much of old Windows Vista? And do you care more about having the latest AI features or keeping your data private? Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.